Yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, very forgetful, aren't I? Right, hello everyone. Oh, 24 viewers already. Yeah, no, thanks for the raid, Liaz. Absolutely ridiculous. I can hear myself. Bollocks, right. Very forgetful, aren't I? This took so long to fix. Yeah, Edception, yeah, hello. Hello, man for D. Hello, BaaRamWu. What are you doing over there? Liaz, I was just watching Liaz in Wonderland's stream. Liaz is a former older Netrunner player that has just got back into the game. Her partner plays Netrunner a bit like us, a little bit more obsessively. And Liaz has just realised how good it is and remembered how good it is again. And she's awesome at streaming, so please go and check out her stream. I'm hoping she's going to post in the chat what the stream is. If not, contact me and I'll tell you. It's twitch.tv/Liaz in Wonderland. You see how it's spelt there. Go and check it out. Streaming like 4 days a week, Netrunner for beginners, and it's fun and it's exciting, and I've been enjoying it for the last 3 or 4 days. So that's been really cool. Oh, you can't see me. Now you can. Hi, it's me. All right. I'm in a very good mood today. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, no, Liaz, thank you ever so much. Yeah, no, I've really, really enjoyed it over the last few days. How's your break? Good evening. Hello. And I need to move this across because I can't scroll through the chat. And I am clearly a Twitch professional. Ben, good evening. Someone's calling you. Bye, Ben. Bye, hi, bye. Oh, we had loads of people and now they've all gone because they've gone, oh, who's this guy? That's all right, they'll turn up again. My special guest this evening after that quite hyperactive start to the stream. So a good sleep. And our link ping. Thanks for joining. BCSJ. Good evening. And Ishikawa81. Thanks for joining as well. My special guest, as I was saying, in one single breath. SCD, good evening. It is Ed. Can you hear me? Yes, good. My special guest this evening is a friend of mine from the local area, a friend of mine from the UK, and a friend of mine, Torgman. Thanks for the sub. Thanks very much. Thanks for coming across from the stream. Good to see you. Hope you're enjoying the Netrunner content at the moment. A friend from Bristol, and more importantly, a friend from the catering industry. It is Britain's most illustrious sommelier, most famous Netrunner wine enthusiast. No, dare I say, expert. It's BaaRamWu, aka James. Good evening.
Hello. That was quite the intro, Ed. I don't know if I quite live up to half of
honestly, I am on fire today. I am absolutely on fire. I'm excited. I've played Netrunner for the first time in weeks because I don't play Netrunner. I just talk about it. And I did play, and I lost 2 games, sure, but I was playing against good people. I was playing against you, so yay! I enjoyed my games. I got decked, and did I get decked? I think you stole the last card in my deck, didn't you?
Yeah, you were on 1 card, so I decided to run R&D, and it was the Cyberdeck sandbox for the win. But I think I think the game was pretty wrapped up at that point. Turns out that loop with a couple of imps and some Friday chips is really good fun.
Really good fun. Really strong. Really not fun if you're the co-op and you like your cards, because they're gonna go. They're all gonna go. For those that don't know you, heaven forbid, some people might not know you. Why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
So my name's James. Online, I'm BaaRamWu. I am a Shaper player, but I play Anarch, if that makes sense, or kind of a bit of both. Like I build stupid rigs and wonder why I lose when the corp scores out. I I took a Slee deck to Worlds and it won 5 out of 7 games. Bring it on. I will be rating every card tonight based on how good it will work in a Slee deck and on almost no other, nothing else, really.
Yes.
And yeah. Oh, and also, as of today, thanks to our game earlier,
Yes.
I had a little check, and my current game stats on JNet, I have won 1,412 games, and I've lost 1,412 games, which puts me on an exactly 50-50 split, which I'm going to say, I think makes me officially the world's most okay Netrunner player. Now,
I think Orbital Tangent might have something to say to you about that.
Now, if Orbital wants to come at me, all right, best of 2, first to a draw wins. Let's go.
Excellent. I am so glad that I made that happen for you. I know it's something you've been wanting to achieve. What worries me is I've got less than a 50% win rate, and I play quite good decks, whereas you play quite unquote interesting decks, for want of a better word.
Well, yeah, I like to find a card which will make someone go, "You're playing what?"
Yes.
When I play it, and then I'll try and build the entire deck in a way that it makes that card work. So cards like Chief Slee, cards like Persephone, cards like I don't know what else do I have. At the moment I'm really loving Q Loop, so I was playing Q Loop against you earlier, which is
loop the loop.
And that's Q Loop in Anarch is absolutely genius.
Yes, BaaRamWu is very well spoken, but with a slight West Country accent, which makes him sound like he's an extra in a Jane Austen adaptation, which might be where you...
Thanks, Yakuza.
He's got that Wessex accent that you look for if you're looking for a suitable husband. Unfortunately, he is taken. Sorry, everyone. Yakuza,
I'm taken.
thanks.
I have a gorgeous little daughter as well, and she's she's going to be a kit player. I think I get the feeling she's going to be a kit player when she grows up.
That's terrible news for everyone, including her. Algebraic Persephone versus Slee is an interesting matchup. That's very true. Yakuza, no need for husbands here. Sorry. Thanks for joining, Yakuza. Sweary Princess, good evening. Yes, we are nerds. And Swan, can't pay attention because I'm at work. Don't let work get in the way of having a good time. And I tell you what, BaaRamWu, we are going to have a great time tonight because in a change to the schedule, we are not going to look at scoops in the same way as usual. Would you like to hear what we're going to do instead?
I'd love to hear, Ed.
I would love to hear as well. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this stream, so if anyone wants to drop dreams in Slack and shout in Discord and everything else, I think it's going to be quite a fun one this evening. I've set something up for the first time since the 12th of March, that fateful night when I did a tier list. I've actually done preparation for the stream. James, would you like to know what I've done in preparation for the stream?
Tell me what you've done in preparation for the stream.
I've built 4 decks with the 4 scoops from today, and I'm proud of them. I am so proud of these decks, and together, myself and yourself, we're going to go through these decks. They are centered around the 4 cards that have been scooped today, and we're going to, well, I say you're going to give them ratings. Would you like to know the conditions you're rating these decks on?
Yeah, one of them will be on whether this has enough Chief Slee in it. So bear that in mind. You give me the other conditions, and I'll add that one in myself. Okay,
so we've got a Chief Slee out of 10 as one condition. A second condition would be, I think, creativity.
Yep.
Creativity probably very important. And then a third condition, because everything's better in threes. As you know from the industry, it's 3s and 5s. Third condition would be how likely I am to finish top half of a tournament using this deck.
Are we talking like Bristol tournament where you're playing against like me and the locals, or like Worlds tournament?
I mean, like you and the locals is pretty strong anyway, James. It's a pretty loaded field in Bristol. That said, I would just like to use the phrase generic tournament. Would you see this as a top half meta deck or a bottom half meta deck? I think that's reasonable, because we ain't winning any tournaments with any of these decks. I will tell you that for free. We're getting 0 out of 10 for all of these. That's never my plan,
Ed. I like to come exactly midfield. That's my ideal place.
Which I know we've discussed this before, and therefore I think you're the perfect judge of if you want to come midfield. Is this better than you or worse than you?
Let's hear it.
Better, or is it better than Wu or worse than Wu? In a segment I like to call, is this better than Wu? Shall we begin?
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm excited about this.
So the first card is obviously Cleaver. Cleaver, if you haven't seen it, it's a 3-cost program. Icebreaker Fractor. 3 strength, strong for 3 credits. 2 influence, 2 credits plus 1 strength. I have to read these in the proper order, not the printed order. 2 credits plus 1 strength, and interface 1 credit. Break up to 2 barrier subroutines. Let's not talk about the card. Art's awesome from Cat. Let's take a look at
amazing Cat art.
At this deck. Now, first of all, I think it's important to note what the deck's called. It's called
strong name.
Divide Dead, with the I can only call it the trademark _Ed with the leak caps. And what we're looking at here is just for everyone. Obviously, the cards aren't loaded up in Netrunner database, so I've used the most appropriate equivalent that I could. So in this deck, Corroder will be replaced by Cleaver. Aside from that, can you see what's going on here, James?
Yeah, I've got a good grasp of this. I've got the classic. Are you not missing Aesops from this deck, considering what it's probably trying to do?
Should we talk about what the deck's got before we talk about what it's missing?
Yeah, sorry.
That's a very, very hard. Okay, we've gone 0 out of 10 right from the start. Cool. Why am I missing Aesops? Yeah, no, because I'm trashing.
Yeah. I mean, you could just stick a couple of Chopbots in there. You'll be fine. It's all right. Like
Chopbot would be a good card. Yeah,
that'll do. All right, so let's see what we got here. We've got Palangi, which is one of my all-time favourite Nisei cards. I think Palangi and Gachapon have been in almost, like one or the other, has been in almost every deck I've made since they've come out. Palangi allows me to do some really ridiculous things with cards like Persephone, for instance. So that's why I love it so much. So that's already a good sign.
Okay.
We've got Cyber Trooper Talut, which is a fun include, especially with the bin breakers, so Black Orchestra and MK Ultra. That's pretty cool. The Contaminates are interesting here. So obviously that's, I guess, to reload your imps, your Palangis, your data suckers, maybe. But
yeah, sure. So data suckers are obviously leeches.
Yes, sorry.
But yeah.
It's the same card.
It's the same card. It's the same card.
You can just use it on Archangel. We've got 3 Ice Carvers. That's bold right there. But fine. We've got Cookbook. Cookbook's fun. I like the Cookbook Simulchip Palangi combo.
Yes, that's the thing.
That's nice.
Oh, you're noticing the interactions already? Do you want me to point out a few more? So obviously,
hit me with your ideas here.
Cleaver, very expensive to boost. Very expensive to boost. Bad. Very good initial strength, and very good at breaking subroutines. So, how do we get round the downsides of Cleaver? Well, we use Cyber Troop to loot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
To get the Cleaver stronger. That's where I was going. Sorry. Yes. To get the Cleaver stronger, Ice Carver brings the strength down of ice at the same time. So already you've got an absolute monster breaker in Cleaver. And it's so good that you're just going to be planking everything for Cleaver. Running through everything. Then, with the simul chips, you've obviously got, as you said, the cookbook interaction.
Yeah.
We want to be feeding virus counters onto imps, because we're going to be trashing stuff. Card you hadn't noticed, and the deck is named after it, Divide and Conquer. Divide and Conquer is super, super strong card in Edward Kim.
So I do like Divide and Conquer. It is a very fun card. It was a staple in a breakerless Kim deck, which I absolutely loved playing before it got massively nerfed by not this or the like a few MWLs ago. Very, very fun card. It's cost 3 credits for it. Where are you getting your money for these Divide and Conquers from?
Let me tell you about money. Let me tell you all about money. Do you know this card? It's a tree. It's acacia. It grows in Africa. When the court purges virus counters, you may gain 1 for each virus counter removed and trash acacia. This is our money engine. Kisra, good evening. Are you going to be berated for being late again? Only in private, not in public. Thanks for joining, Kat. Lovely to see you. Our money engine is acacia. The corp isn't going to know what to do. Fact of the matter is, everyone's on 3 sandbox, 3 CVS. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. Acacia's just printing money, essentially. People are importing Consume into Anarch for 5 influence. You've got Consume at home, everyone. You've got Acacia, it only costs 1 to install. And it prints money. Need I say any more?
Ed, I'm gonna straight up say, I like the Acacias, but where are your fermenters? If you're running 2 Acacias, where are your fermenters in this deck?
I'm not saying they're perfected lists. I would also hasten to add, this is what I feel is the strongest of the 4. I've started strong.
Okay, alright. Right, okay, so...
let's go to ratings. Let's get in there with ratings. I've got, just to highlight another important card, labour rights. Because sometimes you're going to run out of simul chips. Luckily, you can get them back with labour rights.
Alright.
Yeah, wicked.
Okay. Right, obviously there's no SLE rating for this, so none of that. Let's see. Right, originality. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you 2 imps and a 0 out of 10. And
you're not very happy with that, are you? You don't think it's very original.
That's not bad.
Two imps and a 0 out of 10.
0. Yeah, you can decide amongst yourselves exactly where that's at.
Yeah.
I think you look poor. I think apart from Acacia being monstrous if you've got 1 million counters. I think the deck looks poor. I think it would do worse than halfway because I think you would get rushed out.
Okay.
That is my immediate thought.
If you were going to make one change to this list, what would you do?
Okay, so it would either be adding Gachapons in to speed you up, which could do, like, you've got a lot of Gachapon targets there. I'm seeing a lot of Gachapon targets. It's always fun. I think, like, I think you want Aesop's in here, like, which takes down your originality a little bit, because that is the classic, or the list which has been going around for a little while. But like, being able to sell your orchestras and your MK Ultras to get them back with the Cyber Trooper Talut, that feels like a really good engine.
You're probably right. Got some really good suggestions in the chat as well. Zero from Maximum Phil, good evening. Kill Talut. Sorry, birds. As a bird fan, as a member of the RSPB, we don't kill birds. We remove their eggs and take them to best places. I've got pigeons nesting outside my bedroom at the moment, which is absolutely wonderful. There's nothing I can do about it. They're in the ivy. Kisra is suggesting Paladin and Liberated. Paladin and Liberated, potentially too good. Liberated probably a bit slow. If you're saying this deck's slow already, Liberated ain't helping with that. Paladin probably really good.
Lean super heavy into the whole Acacia thing. You put in 3 fermenters, you have 3 Acacias, you put in some Friday chips, and then you just start going absolutely ham on centrals until Sanjay's got it there. You put in a conduit. Like,
you put in a conduit, don't you?
I've
I've missed conduit from this list. I can't deny that. That sucker's got to go. Conduit's got to be in there. We drop the Taluts. We drop Zero. Zero's too slow. Zero's not a powerful enough card anyway. Needs to go. Hey.
But yeah, lean super heavy into the Acacias. Then like it's. Then it's more like, then it's super fun. Like, I love that idea of you ending up with like 20 virus counters, 10 of them are on a fermenter, and then you're like, well, what are you going to do? You're going to give me 20 credits? Because that's fine, you can do that if you want to purge. I think that sounds pretty awesome. Maybe also stick an Archives interface in there just to get rid of CBSs. But, you know.
Archives interface is a really good shout, actually. Slots are pretty tough. This was originally in Loop, but as you can see, I couldn't make the cuts. Edel Kim felt helpful here. Maybe not, though. Probably. I knew I was going to die at some point with this list, and Edel Kim might just save my life. Thanks for joining.
I think Eddie Kim is particularly good if you've got Friday chips in there, because it's a really good way of firing up all your stuff again.
That's a fair point.
You've got Carnivore in there that does that as well, but. I mean, it's hard to play a modified version of this deck, for sure.
Yeah, the more you think about it, the better it gets, doesn't it, James?
Yeah, the more I change it. No, sorry, think about it. That's what I said.
Would you like to look at a second runner deck?
Yeah, hit me.
So, the next card we're going to be looking at is Marijuana. No pronunciation guide here. I assume it's marijuana. It's marijuana.
Isn't it?
Confirmed by this in DMs. It is marijuana. It's a 0 credit program. It's a fractor. Interface to then in the wrong order. It's 1 strength, 1 credit plus 1 strength. Good numbers. Interface 2 credits. Break 1 barrier subroutine. Bad. If you made a successful run this turn, this ability costs 1 less to use. Or in other words, after your first successful run, interface 1 credit, break 1 barrier subroutine. Now, obviously, James, this is a card we really need to lean into. Rather than playing a different fractor, it's more important to make this good. Sanjay in the chat saying Marjana is named after the queen visited by BaaRam. No
Amazing.
way. And his crew in Tale of Kamar Zaman in the Book of 1001 Arabian Nights. The name of the card is referenced to the guest right now, and you are clowning. I'm a little bit blown away. I'm not going to lie. Sanjay's an absolute wealth of knowledge. Wealth of knowledge. That's today, Sanjay. Sanjay needs to get sassy because everyone who's watching now, I hope you're in for a big night of streaming. Following my stream this evening, we have Zeroth Maxima and Mr. Cowbird, Phil and Sanjay, filling in the remaining gintechie.net flavor text quotes on stream, taking suggestions from the audience, which is something to really look forward to. We will be writing the flavor text on gintechie.net for the new IDs. Are you excited about that, James? Yes, it sounds like a lot of fun. Yes, thanks very much for that. Yes. We Bushi in the chat. Bushi in the chat. We are getting... Oh, okay, for a segue, because my stream's not structured enough at the moment. The tab that I had open here, Bushi stealing my limelight. There's going to be a mid-seasons break. Sanjay's put up his shop space on Make Playing Cards. We were talking about it last night together. It's now up. It's online. You can buy Sanjay's beautiful alt arts. You can also buy Kisra's beautiful alt arts on Make Playing Cards, and support the incredibly talented people that make cards. And you have really cool stuff that you can give away as prizes. You can keep for yourself. You can have a little folder. James, are you a big alt art fan or not so much?
Well, I've managed to collect quite a few now. I mean, I have no need for this shop and Make Playing Cards because I'm gonna nail the competition and write a sick poem, and win.
That is a wild idea.
So,
that is a great idea, yeah, and worth noting. If you didn't want to spend the incredibly low price of $1740, you could enter a competition where Sanjay has put up a prize for best poetry with some suggestions of a crown of sonnets and another type of poem that I've forgotten. A villanelle. Villanelle is from a BBC drama, isn't she? But I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah,
it was rather good.
Killing Eve. Killing Eve. Amazing.
Killing Eve was rather good, yeah.
Especially the first season.
Especially the first season. It went a bit downhill for the second season. I haven't watched the third one. But yes, anyway, off topic, but do go and check out not just Sanjay's, although Sanjay's is amazing. Jen Hammy in the chat, thanks for joining. How much awesome have you missed? You've missed me getting very bad ratings on my first list. We had 2 imps and a 0 out of 10. So 0 is 0, and imp is 2 credits. So I had a 4 out of 10 on the first list. We're hoping that BaaRamWu Legendary Deck Builder will give me higher ratings as we go through the rest of the lists. Let's go on to the next one. This is Get High. Femme Fatale, by the way, is marijuana.
Got ya.
Yeah.
Okay. I already like the inclusion in Adam. I think that's cool because you want to make a run anyway. Like you're going to want to run archives or something along those lines. Is that an actual bag buyer? Hasn't he rotated? Is that actually bag buyer?
He has not rotated.
that's not standing in for something else. You've just stuck a cheeky bag buyer into Adam. Okay, right.
He has not rotated.
That's fine. You've got high stakes job in here, Ed. What is going on?
Hi, because hi.
Okay. Wait, my screen's gone funny. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Right. We've got Mayflies, fine. That's all fine. You've got 2 Algernons in there.
One's not. One, obviously, okay, but you need the consistency, so you need to see your Algernon. Right. So having 2 makes it more likely that you'll get your Algernon quicker.
This is... I mean,
do you need me to talk through the theory? Do you need me to talk you through the theory of this list?
I want you to talk me through how you are planning to win with this list.
You Adam, you've got inbuilt multi-access.
Right.
If you're not winning, you're playing badly. Multi-access is obviously the key to winning any Netrunner game, is to be able to access more than one card per run. And with neutralise all threats, you do get a second access on an HQ. But let me talk you through some of the finer points of this list, which I would call,
yes, please,
maybe my Adam magnum opus. Now that easy marks rotated, a lot of Adam players are scrambling around, not knowing what to spend their influence on. And I found a solution. And it's Theophilus Bagbiter. Because, as we all know, Brain Chip is a crutch in Adam. A lot of people think it's the only way to get your hand size up. For those that aren't Adam players, you often run safety first as one of your directives, which will give you a hand size of 3. And the problem is, if you have a hand size of 3, you might die. No. Theophilus Bagbiter. So here's the combo. Let me talk you through it. Right. Install liberated accounts, go down to 0 credits. Theophilus Bagbiter, lose all credits. You've got none. Click, liberated account. 8 hand size, and you draw automatically with safety first. Combo number 2. Algernon. When your turn begins, you may pay 2 to gain a click. If you do trash Algernon when your turn ends, if you did not make a successful run, you need to make successful runs. How do we make successful runs? It's in faction. It's always be running. How do we make successful runs? Injection attack. What a great way to boost your breakers. What breakers are we running? Adore, Itai, Mayfly, and the newly spoiled Marjana. Marjana, knowing that you're going to be making a lot of successful runs already, just piling on the pressure with 1 strength, 1 cost subroutine. Yeah, there we go, Chris, thanks for joining. I think everyone's understanding a little bit more as the viewers flow in to seeing the hot takes in Adam. Injection attack, obviously a key card. Mobius, very, very crucial in Adam. Getting that second run in, because if you make 1 run on R&D, you haven't got any R&D multi-access, that's okay. You can access twice. Neutralise all threats means you're going to be trashing the first card on the top of R&D. And you get to access the second card with Mobius. But wait, there's more. High stakes job. Run a server with at least 1 piece of unresed ice. You can run any server with that. When your run ends, gain 12. So you're struggling. You're down and out because you've played Theophilus Bagbiter. You've lost some credits. You've double-clicked liberated account. Spend 6 credits. And at the end of it, you're going to gain 12. How'd you get in? Mayfly. Easy way in. James, are you even still there?
I'm here. Now, I'm down with some funky Adam builds. I had quite a lot of fun putting a couple of Mind's Eye consoles into Adam a little while back. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
This, Ed, is...
Can I just say, Chris in the chat, you might know Analyze Chris, he's quite a good player. He's pointing out, also Logic Bomb gets you in on a high stakes res. Easy. Would you say the meta's solved?
I think this is pretty much gonna affect the next ban list in quite a significant way. I can't imagine this being. I can't imagine them letting this slide as it takes down. I think this could be the next Lisa. You know, this is gonna destroy everything it comes across.
Yeah. If Lisa was talking thunder, this is talking earthquakes, as far as I'm concerned. BMBM, thanks for joining. Bloom. No RNG key with Mobius. No. Do you know why? That would just be a flex. Purposely not reading the bit about Bagbiter rotating. Honour and Profit is still legal. Probably. Or maybe not.
No, I really think it's not.
Let's say it is.
Let's say we're playing throwback. You know.
Let's say we're playing throwback.
It's fine. Yeah. So it's a solid throwback deck.
It is. If we deduct 1 point from my score. Sorry, T Pickwin asking Ed, what if I'm one of the people who uses brain chip for the MU? You're missing a very, very key piece of information here. We've got Swift. Swift gives you an extra click. Algernon gives you an extra click. What do you do with clicks? You click for credits. It is money. Straight up. Swift, Algernon. Ton of money. You've got probably something like 22 run events here. I don't think there's many that aren't independent thinking, obviously trashing all of your directives for 2 credits each. It's pawn shop at home, I agree. We don't have the influence for it. I do apologise everyone for not being able to make that happen. James, out of 10, what are you rating this on SLE out of 10? Or SLE out of 10?
Right. So on an originality scale, this is one getting high out of 10. Absolutely.
Wow.
On a where does it come in our generic tournament that we've set up here? It's 2 high stakes jobs out of 10. Is how I'm going to put it.
Aye.
You can read that.
That's rough. You didn't have to be so brutal. You could have said 1 Mobius out of 10. Yeah, I would have got the message.
Absolutely.
Okay, I was really proud of this. That's really taking the wind out of my sails now, James.
I think the inclusion of a Felicitious Bagbiter, which we have established has rotated, might be the only. If it didn't have that, I think this is winning big prizes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's an instant game loss, right?
Yeah. Solomir, I missed the preamble. What's this deck list? This is so myself, Whiteblade, Pinsel, Analyze Chris, Mike. I'm just going to try and get full representation. H bar squared and Yakuza, and for Americas we'll go with like CTZ. We put our heads together and we were like, what is going to win next Worlds, Solomir? And we came up with this list, and James has quite petulantly decided to suggest that it's not the best list in the current meta. So yeah, I could believe CC would be involved, and Murphy as well. But yeah, unfortunately, we have to discard that and throw it in the trash. It's been rated 2 high stake jobs out of 10, which is better than 1, but not as good as pretty much any other card I could have spent 6 influence on. Out of 10.
I mean, as Sanjay points out, that's potentially 24 credits, like out of 10. That's really good.
It's a lot,
as you can get
actually.
in twice.
When you think about it, and you've got Logic Bomb. It's easy money. Would you like to look at some Corp decks?
Absolutely.
What should we start
I
with?
might have to take that, Adam, for a spin later, just because it looks quite fun.
All these lists will be published. Yeah, all
Obviously.
these lists will be published. That is the next.
Can we make that one deck list of a week? Please, I really want to see Andre play it. It'll be utterly hilarious.
My new tactic, just in case anyone wants to interrupt this, I will kill you, is to try and build the worst deck possible that will get the most likes. And I do this about 6 months before Worlds, and I publish it exactly 1 week before Worlds, so that when no one's publishing lists, because they're all in Worlds mode, I publish the list, and there's no way I'm getting beaten, because it's just a deck full of memes and GIFs. And it worked last time, and I'm going to be doing the same again this year. And I will be getting deck list of the week, Worlds week, so that before Andre's allowed to talk about who won Worlds, he has to play my list.
But he won a game with your Thunderbird deck. It was great.
The Thunderbird list was so good.
Undefeated on JNet.
Undefeated on JNet. It was as well. I played one game, I won it. And now it's 2-0. So we are going to move on to Pharos. Pharos is a lighthouse. Right. First and foremost, everyone needs to know Pharos is a lighthouse, right? Because there's been a bit of confusion. It is a lighthouse. It's the lighthouse of somewhere. It's one of the 7 wonders. Beefy lighthouse. It's the beefy lighthouse of, I think it's in Crete, I want to say. But anyway, it is a 7 cost, 5 strength barrier. You can advance this ice. It gets +5 strength. It's very friendly chat in the text here. It gets 5 strength while there are 3 more hosted advancement counters. Give the runner subroutine. Give the runner 1 tag. Subroutine. End the run. Subroutine. End the run. The Lighthouse of Alexandria. Thank you ever so much. It was really actually upsetting me to the point where I couldn't think anymore. Jen Hammy in the chat saying, I've been there. The library's in Alexandria. It's the Library of Alexandria. It's the lighthouse of somewhere else. No, it's the Library of Alexandria, 100%. Yeah. What a lovely library that burnt down. And all the books were burnt. And that's why in the Middle Ages everyone thinks that people were stupid. They weren't. It's just any record of it was burnt, sadly. Yes. Have we had Hangard's Babylon in the chat? While we're looking at what do you do with Pharos? So what would your initial, before we look at the list, what would you do with Pharos if you were making a deck built around Pharos, James?
Well, my initial thoughts is this is 3 subroutines, which is quite a lot of subroutines.
Yes.
And it's high strength, which is annoying to break.
Yes.
So I'm going to try and build a Chiefs League deck around it.
You would, wouldn't you? Yes.
Yeah, of course I would. 3 subroutines isn't enough subroutines, so it doesn't quite do it. Maybe it can protect the Slee, but I don't know. Basically, Nisei needs to stop ruining Endless Euler, or Euler. Which one is it? It's Euler, isn't it?
EULA.
Because each time, Endless Euler is the best Slee ice. We all know that. It's great. It instantly gives Slee 5 counters. You're halfway there to winning the game, right? But we had Endless Euler, and this wasn't them, but there was Lamb. Lamb destroyed Endless Euler, and so, right, well, no one plays Endless Euler. So then it came back, and then they brought back Parasite, and so no one can play Endless Euler. And now they brought in the chopping one, which does that destroys Endless Euler as well. Stop making Endless Euler so bad, so that I can build more Slee decks. Thank you. That's me done.
Could someone just clip the last minute and a half, please? I will be using that in my interview for President of Nisei.
Yes, you see, Chris knows
you.
where it's at. Like,
Yeah.
Eula is a great card.
Oh, it's a great
they
card.
Just keep making it really hard to play, and
Yeah.
now you're just going to have a tranquilizer stuck on it nowadays, and be forced to res it for 6.
Oh, it's a nightmare, isn't it? All these runner cards that are good. It's unfortunately, we get Pharos, which is obviously rubbish. An ice that's going to cost 16 to break with the new barrier breaker. Which is kind of weird, actually, isn't it? That you release an ice that's completely terrible to break with the new Fractor in the faction of Fractors.
Well, you just get through it with a boomerang and you clear the tag, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like it's not an issue. And Cleaver's,
or you stick a Botulus on it.
Cleaver's pretty wild, anyway. So, what do we do with Pharos? Let me tell you what we do. What was the strongest Wayland deck of all time? 54 card Gagarin. Yeah, that's right. So, what have we done? We've built 54 card, building a better world. Just to point out, Tyrant here is actually Pharos. Very important to note.
Tyrant is Pharos. Okay, right. I'm just...
The chat's gone quiet. The chat is analysing this list. Is this list shit hot or too hot to handle?
Okay. There's a lot of cards in here, Ed. I'm going to be honest. Okay, so I know what that does.
Yeah, so the thing is, because we had to go to 54 cards to be the best Wayland deck, as a result we had to put quite a lot of different cards in there as well.
Did you consider putting some ice in there? Or
yes, I did. Yes. I put exactly 11 ice in there.
11 ice. Cool.
11 ice, yes.
And so you've got 3... All of these ice cost you how much to rest?
Portal Bone, thanks for the sub. I'm so glad that you're enjoying this list as much as I am. Quite a strong list.
This is this is I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I could play against this list and win, because I don't think I would know what would be going on.
No.
So you've got Red Planet Couriers, but only one free advanceable ice, I guess. You've got Wall to Wall, but again, no real advanceable ice. Okay.
Well, obviously, as we know, we're advancing the Pharoses. Yeah, we have to really lean into advancing Pharos. Every Pharos has to be triple advanced.
Yeah. That's pretty standard. Building blocks, fine. Okay. Cool. What are the Salems for? Let's start there. We'll start there. We'll work back.
Okay.
What are the Salems for? Just because.
Well, actually, so really, it's a bit of a paper trail here. So you're asking the wrong question, but you're going to get to the right answer. So what you should really be asking is, what is Indian Union Stock Exchange for?
I mean, I have less questions about the Indian Union Stock Exchange than I do about the Salems, unless they're there for. I've had worse for the punitives. Maybe?
So Weeble, thanks for joining. So Indian Union Stock Exchange, obviously, is the key card here in the combo. Let's follow the trail. Indian Union Stock Exchange, we need to play out of faction cards. So we need to play one influence cards, right? So you play Handside Review, yes?
Yeah.
It's a transaction, yes. We're building a better world, yes. We play Predictive Planogram, yes. We play
another transaction, right?
Transactions. Too big to fail, transaction. We can go through all the transactions. 14, I believe, maybe more. That's 9. That's 9. That's 11. That's 13. 13 transactions. That's 13 credits off the bat. You're already plus 13 credits before you started the game. Then, if you're Indian Union Stock Exchange, you need 1 influence cards. Engram Flush. While a lot of people think Engram Flush is quite an underpowered card, I've actually seen a niche use of Engram Flush that maybe people didn't know before. When you play Engram Flush, it lets you see the runner's hand. Did you know that? Did you know?
Yeah.
And when you see the runner's hand, what better way to take advantage of that than the all-seeing eye? Because you're already seeing, and so thematically it's correct that you include the all-seeing eye. And it's 1 influence. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, some people might suggest that there's a little bit of anti-synergy with the all-seeing eye and Too Big to Fail, and with the all-seeing eye and 3 hostile takeovers. A lot of people might suggest that that's a problem, which is why I've had to fork the runner by playing Salem's Hospitality as well.
Have you considered that the bigger issue here might be that you have the all-seeing eye, exchange of information, and not a single way to tag the runner?
There is a way to tag the runner.
Is there?
Unless I've removed. No, yes, it is. Yes, let me tell you, Pharos tags the runner.
Oh my gosh! Right,
I remember now.
Okay, really leaning into it.
Yeah,
I love it.
See, and what are we using exchange of information for? Standoff. To exchange for the government takeover that they inevitably steal off R&D.
Got you. Amazing.
You can actually win in 1 turn with this list because the runner's obviously tagged. The runner's obviously tagged because of Pharos.
How
the runner's obviously tagged. Click 1, exchange of information. Click 2, dedication ceremony, and oh no.
You went into that with such gusto until it really tailed off when you realised that
3 clicks.
Whatever you're planning doesn't work there, does it?
It doesn't, not this turn. But then we wait a turn because they're obviously Bulwark, one of the strongest ice in the game. And then people underestimate it. And then next turn, Red Planet Clearers, and you move your advancement counters from dedication ceremony onto Pharos. They then shift over with Red Planet Couriers onto the winning hostile takeover. GG, no re.
What I'm going to say, Ed, is this is guaranteed to win against anyone playing Cleaver. So I think you've got a strong win con there, and you should just play it against new players who only have the gateway and the deck building pack, and then you take this, and I think you've got a solid win con then.
So if I label my game, for example, beginner friendly, startup only. Yeah. Do you think the opportunity to win goes up? Sorry, just as well. What 54 card Wayland list is playing Tag Punishment? This one is playing Tag Punishment. And we've just left a few options. Bear in mind, we've got Spin Doctor, obviously, to draw into our win cons.
Draw into all of your win cons.
All of the win cons. And we do have a variety of different win cons. We've got Consulting Visit as well. But it's actually a punitive deck. At heart, the fan favourite punitive Counter-Strike. We hadn't mentioned that, but essentially what you want to do is click 1, feed them government takeover, click 2, punitive Counter-Strike, good game. Because you're Wayland, so you're richer than them. And you'll get a lot of wins, by the way, on JNet Casual by feeding government takeover and then playing punitive Counter-Strike and winning the game. The deck does get rich. I think I would actually beat pretty much everyone in the chat with this list. Indian Stock Exchange is no joke. Thanks, Chris. I've always liked you. We hadn't talked about the name yet as well. Before we give this ratings, James. This list called Ocean Drive.
Okay, it's not as strong as Divide Ed. I'm going to be honest.
I think it's the strongest name so far. Ocean Drive, obviously being a song by, I think, Sweary Princess in the chat. Lighthouse Family. Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's stronger than I thought.
And that's why the all-seeing eye is there, because I wanted a sea/ocean reference in the list.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So for ratings here.
Yes. Ocean Source isn't a real card. Sorry, Ocean Source in the chat. Ocean Source isn't a real card. There was never a card called Ocean Source. Any memory of Ocean Source is erased immediately. RIP Ocean Source.
So what ID was this in? Was this in? Oh, this was in BA. This was in Core, wasn't it?
Building Meta World. Yeah, because we are building Meta World.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's where all your money's come from. I forgot about that. Right. So you've got all of your ice has more than one subroutine. So you get two sleaze out of 10, I reckon.
Okay. Yeah, that's decent.
So we'll start there. Originality. I think it's gonna be high, isn't it? It's gonna be like 3 Engram flushes and an MWL ban out of 10.
3 Engram flushes and an MWL ban out of 10. Wow.
Yeah.
Or what I like to call Engram flush.
What did I say?
Well, 3 Engram flushes and the MWL ban is essentially Engram flush, because it's going to be banned in the next ban list, isn't it? So you play it while you can,
sure,
everyone.
I'm wondering where you get your information. I mean,
as someone on the ban list, I'm going to be making sure that Engram flush gets banned. Opportunity for everyone to join the ban list if you disagree with me.
Engram flush is fine. I ran through it like 17 times the other day with no cards in hand, and it does nothing.
It does nothing. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
And as for where this is going to place,
I think really high actually. This is highest so far.
I think. I mean, you've got like technically a low agenda density in here, so
yes.
So that's definitely going for it. I think it's probably going to get about 252nd at Worlds, I think.
Okay. Is that where I placed? Is that where I placed at Worlds? No, I placed 152nd, I think, which was just below halfway.
I've gone too low actually. I was looking for more like mid-table. I thought there was 400 people at Worlds, but maybe there wasn't.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, no, I think it sounds like actually it will place where I placed at Worlds, which sounds appropriate.
Let's go with that.
I think this is the best list of what we've seen so far, so that would be appropriate.
Let's go with it. It wins faction dice, and we'll say no more.
That'd be amazing. Winning faction dice. Good. Well, I think this is going to pick up a lot of wins against new players, and obviously eating new players for breakfast is very, very important because you're going to lose your first 2 games any major tournament playing this, and then you rise up the rankings, and you finish very strong. And it is a Swiss killer. There's no two ways about it. If people know the tricks you're up to, the chances of you winning go down. But obviously, it's quite spicy.
I think this does better in the cup than it does in Swiss, because as soon as you hand over your deck list, you're just gonna get a handshake and a how about I just concede now, or let's just ID it because it's not worth the risk. Like no one's gonna want to go up against that and go, I know what's going on here. Nah, you just get the straight ID.
Yeah, it's potentially true. One weakness I've noticed in the list, before we move on, is Handseye Review. So Handseye Review, I think a lot of people are talking about it as the best card in Gateway. I think it might be the worst in this list. You have to trash a card, and you've got quite a lot of one-offs in this list. To be precise, probably half your deck is one-offs. All of them are really, really important, and you don't want to trash them. So Handseye Review loses a lot of playability as a result.
Yeah, when it's hard to find a card to trash out of 54 cards, then there might be some considerations there. I don't know.
Wayland's too strong in the current meta. I agree. Let's move on. The last card for this evening. Ping, no exclamation mark. Has flavor text that I don't understand. If anyone's a programmer, apparently there's a puzzle here. If you want to try and solve the puzzle that's going on in the ping flavor text, apparently you need to say looking for entries. So do take the time to solve the puzzle that is in the ping flavor text. I look forward to seeing what people work out here. But ping is a 2-cost barrier. It's NBN. It has quite beautiful art, absolutely stunning. And it says, when you rest this ice during a run against this server, give the runner 1 tag. Subroutine, end the run. It's 2 influence. It's pretty cool. BaaRamWu, it's pretty cool, right?
I like this a lot. I think it makes you want to play some real fun, janky cards. Like the name escapes me now, but someone will post it in chat. It's the HB thing, which makes you the HB operation, which lets you de-res a load of cards. Like that seems fun.
Okay. Just to confirm for the chat, because this looks like a bit of stooging going on right now.
Divert power.
We haven't talked before this stream, have we?
No. Why have you got 3 divert powers in your corp deck?
What would you say is the jankiest card in Netrunner that you love playing?
Well, outside of, we all know I love Slee.
So Chief Slee would be the correct answer.
Probably.
So James, what if
Ed? This is a bad.
I built this deck.
It's got 1 subroutine.
What if I built this deck? What if I built this deck? This deck is known as Reality Sleedy.
Okay. Come on, Ed. Hit me.
It's
right.
in.
Okay. We're in there. We've got Eulers.
Just to clarify, obviously the resistors are the pings.
Right. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yes.
Where's your slot machines, Ed? Like any Chief Slee deck without a slot machine, what? You're missing. Like that's the best ice.
Slots. No, literally, I know it's thematic. Slots in this deck are very, very challenging. And I think as you go through it, you'll see why. But maybe, obviously, there's quite a lot to take on board at the moment.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, yeah, fine. 2/4, get in there. Public trail is cool. What is when you? Okay, right. High profile target. That makes a bit more sense. Okay, so I love the Slee, obviously. I love the divert powers. That's my kind of jank. Is that searchlight actually a searchlight?
It is actually a searchlight. Is that legal?
Actually, a searchlight. I think it is. It's
yes,
just
it is legal. It is legal.
Yeah. What doesn't searchlight have a trace 0 on it?
It's got trace X.
Trace X, and X is 0
yes.
unless you start advancing it. Right, fine.
That's correct. Yes.
I guess you've got to break it with Slee. Maybe. Cool. All right.
Yep.
So you've got how are you protecting the Slee? I'm going to ask you a genuine question. How are you protecting this Slee?
Have you seen this card, Endless Shooter?
Yeah, I have.
So obviously the runner's got 6 opportunities to say, no, do you know what? I've gone too far. I'm going to have to end the run here.
Right. Okay, fine. So you've got the Chief Slee behind an Endless Shooter. You've got Reality 3D in here. Because of the name. Yeah, okay, right, I like it.
Yeah. Very reasonable. And when your turn begins, if you actually read the text rather than thinking it's just a meme, I'm not obviously memeing here, there's reasoning behind what's going on. When your turn begins, gain 1 credit or 2 credits if the runner is tagged.
Got ya. You're planning on sticking a lot of tags here, I'm guessing.
Oh man, there's tags everywhere. Let me tell you about tags. Have you ever heard of the card Escalate Vitriol?
I have. Oh wait, okay, sorry, I forgot that you're going to be scoring out 4/2s. Remind me what Escalate Vitriol does.
Escalate Vitriol is an agenda. It's a 4 agenda. Click, gain 1 credit for each tag the runner has.
Oh.
But you're playing Sansan. It's so easy to score agendas.
You're playing one Sansan. Yeah, okay.
That's right, one Sansan. Well, it's expensive. At 6 credits, obviously, that's a tempo loss if you had more than one Sansan. So you just play the one, because otherwise it's too many credits for the list. It runs tight on credits. I'm not going to lie, it does run tight on credits.
Yeah, I can't see anybody, but we'll worry about that later. I mean, Escalate Vitriol really good in a format where you can't use the basic action card. Gives you another option for that. So there's that. Yeah. I mean,
obviously you're diverting power. So as we all know, the classic, the modern classic combo of ping into divert power into Thoth.
Yeah, that's gonna stick a load of tags.
It's gonna stick tags. A tag to be precise, but a tag.
Yeah,
that's a lot of tags.
It's gonna make me sad, but Mason Bellamy is rotating. Like Ping and Mason Bellamy could have been absolutely disgusting together.
Wonderful. And I think what's nice here is that even you, I describe you as a seasoned deck builder, thought that this was a Chief Slee deck. But it's not. It's a high-profile target deck. Yeah, because at some point the runner's going to have to go tag me to get rid of those Chief Slees. And at that point, that's when you lay down the high-profile target.
But no good Chief Slee deck is actually a Chief Slee deck. Like
No.
I've won a lot of games with Chiefs Lee decks, and you never really win by using Chiefs Lee. Chiefs Lee just forces the runner to do something which they don't want to have to do, and then while they're doing that, you score out. So I can see that. I can see what you've got going on there. I think it's strong. I like it a lot. The Searchlight is buck wild because, like, out of all the one influence things you could have picked, you went with Searchlight.
Well, you see, there's a lot of reasons why, or two to be precise, and both of them say tag.
Just highlight Searchlight for me again to remind me how bad it is.
Yeah, no. So Searchlight. Maybe you can read this out while I'm just grabbing myself a glass of water.
Okay, just about. So trace X, if successful, give the runner one tag, and then the same again. And X is the number of advancement counters on Searchlight, which is 0, unless you've paid loads of money for it. 6 zeros. I guess it's 2 sub-routines for Slee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ed, I'm not with you on the Searchlight here. Stick in an Engram Flush instead, mate. Like, it will do more.
You see, as you discussed before, Engram Flush isn't a very strong card. That's your words, not mine.
It is when you're trying to get the runner down to 4 cards so that you can kill them with the Chief's Sleeve. You've got to think about that. You don't want a tag at that point. You want them to have 4 cards.
But that's the fork that the runner is forced into. If they can't deal with the tags, they're dying to high-profile target. If they can't deal with the subroutines, then they're dying to Chief Slee.
And you have Searchlight in this deck, but not in your deck, which was themed around a lighthouse.
Correct.
I'm just putting that out there.
But did you see how difficult it was to find influence in this deck? I'm not cutting All-Seeing Eye, am I? I'm not cutting Exchange Information in that list, am I? So, okay. I understand where you're coming from. I'm going to say I hard disagree with your opinion on this list.
Yeah.
Searchlight is Wayland, I agree. Solomir completely in the chat, completely understands where I'm going with this list. Searchlight is Wayland. I suppose we're going to have to hear your ratings on this one now. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So
it's not something I don't think. I think we've lost about 75 viewers.
Yeah.
Since you suggested Engram Flush should be in this list, which is unfortunate.
Well, that's because they've just all gone to create this, but with an Engram Flush.
With Engram Flush instead of a Searchlight.
Start stomping JNet tonight.
Yeah, brutal.
Right. Well, it gets a solid 9 meat damage out of 5 for Chief Slee.
Yeah. You're dead. You're dead out of 5.
That's pretty good. Originality. I mean, the Searchlight really boosts it up. I don't want to just focus on that, but that's of all the 1 pip splashes, that's really digging into the vaults there. So I think you're getting a solid 3 Escalate Vitriols out of 10 for originality. And
Escalate Vitriol, out of 10. I'm just publishing this list, James.
Got you.
So that I can be. By the way, in case the originality wasn't high enough already, I want to be the first reality SLED list on JNet.
That's fair. I might actually have to up that because I forgot how good the name was. So it might be 3 Escalate Vitriols and a Searchlight out of 10.
Thank you very much. Right, okay, I won't publish a list. You have to work this one out for yourself, everyone.
And I think this would come a pretty solid right in the middle of any field. I could see you. I could see you really pulling off like a hilarious win with this, especially when someone inside jobs through your endless Euler and doesn't realise that triggers Slee. I think that's how you get most of your wins, is people accidentally inside jobbing endless Eulers,
doing very stupid things. Yes,
but I think that's probably a decent sort of that's a decent way of winning. I think that's good enough, you know.
Yeah, Chris made a very fair point as well. Obviously, as we all know, the fear, the best thing about Project Beale is the fear of the third Beale. So when they see 2 Beales on the table and all this tag punishment, they're going to be assuming that there's psychographics coming. They're going to be assuming there's a third Beale coming, and they won't see the Chiefs League kill.
That's it. I think that's where the win probably comes from the 2 Project Beals.
Yeah.
Over everything. Yeah. I mean, this one isn't winning the cut. I'm like, this is opposite to your other one in that you give someone this list and your
there's too many secrets.
Power is taken away.
There's too many secrets in this list, I think, is their issue.
Yeah.
There's interactions people didn't realise existed until now, and I hope it's been as much as anything an educational stream for people to see new things that you can do with the court to win games, and hopefully highlighting the strength of the new cards, but more importantly, the strength of my deck building if you come up against me in JNet Casual, and what you might expect, and hopefully people will treat me with a little bit more respect than they have done before. Wouldn't you say, James?
I think I've gained a healthy level more respect for you than I have before after this stream, Ed. I think I'm gonna probably come at your decks with like full on like lines world beating lists from now on, just to make sure, because I'm a bit worried about losing out now.
Yeah.
Gonna play nothing but Pencil Geist.
I think it's all you can play at the moment in the current meta. Well, certainly post rotation, I think you can only play Pencil Geist. Probably the strongest on the list post rotation, and something to really look forward to. See what you do with Geist post rotation, and how you make Geist work in standard. I think it's something everyone's looking
by getting
forward
you a game loss, but.
Yeah, no, I think it will be as well. But I'm interested to see what you do when you bring Geist to a tournament, James. So I think everyone in the chat is as well. James, thanks ever so much for joining me. Was there anything you actually wanted to talk about the cards today that was serious? Have we covered everything?
Don't really think that's very on brand, is it?
Not today. No.
There was one quote, and it's about Cleaver that someone put up. It was very good player, Cable Carnage, popped in. I think it was in the UK Slack earlier, and I think this sums up Cleaver in a fantastic sentence. And he said, "Cleaver is among the strongest fractors ever released, and will see no play competitively in standard because Clippy is absurd." And I think that pretty much sums up everything.
Okay, we'll have Bagbiter Geist. Yeah, Bagbiter Geist, potentially very dangerous. because Geist doesn't need credits. So if you're running Backbiter Geist, well, you're fine because you don't need credits, right?
Yeah, Ed, you've got 7 days left to play Backbiter, and I want to see a Backbiter. I want to see like you storming JNet with Backbiter lists for the next 7 days.
Cleaver, also my art. Kisra, Katchen in the chat. We've talked about your art on numerous occasions. I think we're all fangirls of your art. If you want to link in the chat your NPC store, I think everyone would love to see that. I've got tons of yours already. Yeah, Kisra.
Yeah,
awesome. Cleaver, look, I think Paperclip is not long for this world. I'm not going to lie. It's nothing to do with me being on the ban list team. We haven't looked at the next ban list. I've obviously been very careful throughout my streams not to talk about what will or won't be banned because we don't know, because we play testing games. We will get there, Algebraic. But I think Cleaver is designed in a world without Paperclip. And if that's the case, then I think Pharos gets incredibly strong. And probably too strong. That's my hot take. I think Pharos is a bit too good.
I think it's probably fine. I think there's other cool ways. I like the fact that there's lots of tools at the moment. I think you've got things like Botulus, which can get through it for as long as you've got 2 virus counters on there. I think that'll be the way to deal with that. You know, maybe you're running like boomerangs or something along those lines, or you just, how much is it to get through it? Then go like, was it 10? So it's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you could Ngolo through it. It's probably not the best. But yeah, I think if you're playing Cleaver, I think it is very good, and I think especially if it's got a little bit of help, if you've got an ice carver, if you've got some leeches down or whatever, then, or if you're playing it in Shaper, which I think it could be seen if you're playing it with Takobi, and you've got a really, really good breaker, and probably playing some other form of tool to get past things which are, your Chiashis and things along those lines.
Yes,
I think it's fun. I think it's going to be an interesting one.
I think it's going to be an absolute nightmare, and I hate it. And I think Outfit Rig Shooter got another kind of angle on it, and I think we'll see this in Outfit. And I think it's going to be very, very tough to deal with. I don't like big eyes, so I like small eyes. I can
never been a Blue Sun fan then.
I'm a massive Blue Sun fan, but I don't like playing against it. Last thing before we go, and I'm gonna take away this little serious facade that I've been doing this evening. I hope you've all enjoyed the stream, a little bit different to usual. Thanks, James, for being so what's the word? You're casting your critical eye so professionally over my lists, and I think they warranted critical, if not critical acclaim, then critical dissection. If you do want to see a little bit more of what BaaRamWu James does, why not check out algebraicnetrunner.wordpress.com. The link will be in the chat in all of about 20 seconds when I click copy and paste and don't have hiccups. It's there. And guest article, because Ian forgot to write an article. Oh no, it's doing weird things. What we can do is we scroll down and we see the Colourblind Anarch by BaaRamWu. And BaaRamWu, James has written a special guest article on this blog. You can see what you've thought of the cards, rather than listening to me for the last hour and a half. James, someone that actually knows how to build decks. Heaven forbid.
Well, you can see what my over hyperactive brain of deck building diarrhea comes up with. I think Ian said to me himself it was like being bombarded by ideas, and that's what my brain does when I see new cards. So yeah, it was a fun one to write. There's some cool cards in there.
Yeah, and just generally this blog's excellent. Ian's a very good friend of both of ours, but regardless, I would still say the blog's excellent. And as Weeble said in the chat, I'm very excited to try the Cookbook Hive Mind Tranquilizer combo. I can attest to the fact that Cookbook plus Tranquilizer is indeed meta defining. I don't think there's any ways about it. It's incredibly strong. Regardless of how janky you build the stuff around it, it's just really good. Agree?
Absolutely.
Shall we raid a channel for the first time? We're going to go and raid Mr. Cowbird, because Mr. Cowbird, aka Sanjay, is with the lovely Zeroth Maxima, aka Phil LaRoche, and they're writing the flavor text on the last few cards on Jinteki.net. Let's all go over there, see what's going on. Oh, he is raid. We're raiding in 8765. I think I'm about to cut off. Thanks ever so much, everyone. I'm with Netcooker tomorrow. Take care. Oh, and we go raid now. There we go. I think we're hosting that channel now, James.
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's cool. Is it showing Sanjay? Obviously my screen still looks like me. So. Well, no one's talking in the chat, so they've all gone, which is good.
Yeah, I don't know, because they're still showing in your... Hopefully I can't hear this.